What's going on, everybody? This is Jason from Jason's House of Fun and Video Games, bringing you today a new video, an update to the House of Fun and Video Games. So what's been going on with me? Well, you know where I am. The place that used to be the fun place, the quiet place, the man cave, the game room, there's a lot of different names for it. It's coming along good. We're going to get into that very shortly on a couple of updates with the actual process, which is great because moving forward is better than going backwards or staying still. So, I love that echo, right? I shouldn't say never. I haven't heard an echo in this place, this part of my house, since forever. There's always been something in here, so every time I come here, it's so weird, or come down here rather, it's so weird to hear that. So, a couple updates from me. One, Tuesday, I finally went through with it and stopped being big baby. I actually had to get a wisdom tooth out. I could have gotten two, because luckily, unlike some folks that have four, I only have two, so two bottoms, right? So if you see this right here, it's not as bad. The other day, it looked like a golf ball was in there. And there's a lot of jokes that could go through with that little comment. But I'll leave you folks to decide whether you want to throw that out there or not. For me, I don't do well under situations I can't control, right? That's just part of who I am. So when I was younger, I was always told that anesthesia was necessary to take out at least one of them. We're going to open up this window and get some air in here. There we go. Much better. So, like I was saying, anesthesia was never a thing on my list of things to do, unless I absolutely had to. So I narrowly avoided for many years to do either one of these. So unfortunately, about 2 weeks ago, I think I got a pretty bad infection. And it was killing me to the point that the day that I finally was able to find somebody after checking for a week, because we're in the middle of a pandemic and nobody's open and nothing's going on. But there was one, thank God, that I was able to find to help me out with my removal, per se. And that day, when I believe it was an infection, because I had to take medicine for an infection, it felt like my body was literally shutting down. And I'm not joking, like, almost like it was like I was having a reaction to something, right? Like a reaction to an allergy or something like that, because the throat started closing up. And granted, I haven't had anything like that. I'm allergic to one thing, which is penicillin. Oh, there you go, for the thing you can get to know about me, right? And I was very young at the time, so I don't know what it felt like to react to something you're allergic to, but I remember it being described, and that's kind of how it felt, right? So, honestly, I think it was just having a panic attack, and the pain was so severe, and it just finally just took over. And luckily I was able to get in, get seen, and obviously I told them right off the bat, like, listen, I know a pretty good idea what this is. I'm not a dentist. I believe it's this wisdom tooth right here, and it's impacted. So when a wisdom tooth is regular, which wisdom tooth are awful, there's no point of them, they don't typically grow like normal teeth. They typically don't have roots. Just a tooth in the gum, right? And that's why they eventually decay, cause infections and stuff like that. Just like most of your other teeth, they stand vertical. When you have an impacted tooth, it stands horizontal. And when it does that, eventually over time, it pushes and pushes and pushes and just doesn't stop. And that screws up a lot of different things in your mouth, which I had braces when I was a kid, so I had to have some things fixed. I had an overbite and, you know, a few teeth and this and that. Not that that's a big deal, but kind of gives you the same idea. So all those years that I had the braces, and I finally got what I needed to get done, which was torturous for me for a lot of different reasons, other than the fact of, you got braces, you're going to get your chops busted, just what's going to happen, and at least that's what happened to me. And two, they hurt, and they pain, and when those wires pop up and they poke into your cheek, I had one poke out of my cheek before, and I couldn't be seen by somebody because it was Sunday. I had to wait a whole 24 hours, and this is when I was a teenager, early teens, before I really had a grasp of what real pain was, right? And I'll tell you, no fun. But anyway, it wasn't a full waste because I got rid of the overbite, which is great. It was a small one, but still, you don't need any of those. It causes a lot of problems with a lot of different things. So it kind of screwed up me, my teeth in a way, not completely. But if I got these out right away, I probably wouldn't have as many problems as I have right now. So they told me at the dentist I went to, it doesn't matter who it was, that I could only go under anesthesia for at least this one. And this one, most likely, you'll need anesthesia. I go to this dentist, who I've never been to before, little hole in the wall, very nice lady. The area was completely clean. She made it very clear that, you know, there's obviously the possibility that, you know, with you being in the public, that you could contract what's causing our current pandemic. But they're taking every precaution that they could. And let me tell you, that place was squeaky clean. Of course, as a dentist, just like, you know, a doctor's office, you would assume should be pretty clean, right? So I felt pretty good about that. Very nice. Explained the procedure. I told them, listen, I will take as much Novocaine as you want to give me. I could sit through anything. I've had a lot of cavities. I had 2 crowns. If you ever had one of those, that is a different experience in itself. Not trying to get into a whole teeth and how to be a dentist with the house in front of video games, because I'm clearly not. But I told them anesthesia was just out of the question. If I had to, I had to. Nope, we could do it with Novocaine. I find that funny. So, doing a little research recently, before I went there, anesthesia, I knew obviously, bucks, right? So everything in this world is about money. Not everyone, but everything. Cash rules everything around me, right? So, with that being said, I think the reason why that other dentist's office, which I'll never go to again because that's very insulting to me, if a patient is asking you not to do something, you should just go with the patient and what they say, unless it's affecting the safety of themselves or others, right? That's just the way I feel. I'm sure it's the way a lot of you feels, right? So, that makes me not want to ever go back there, because why would I ever want to go under anesthesia unless I had to? Like I said, big on control, you have no control, and the person in front of you has full control of you. So, plus, I just don't want to be out. I don't want to be put up. Simple as that. I heard you get up and you talk funny and you're all weird and everything. And I mean, that's cool and great and probably make for a good video, but I have no interest. So I avoided that. I was able to go in. I'm sorry if the mouth isn't moving as normally as it should, because I'm still healing. Probably be a week or two. You know, be fully healed, you know, stitches, everything like that come out, because they dissolve when they're in your mouth. And luckily I got stitched. So the biggest part for me was sitting there and waiting, because I didn't want to do this. I've never had an extraction before in my mouth. So again, not too fond of doing any of these things. Nobody wants to go to the dentist. Nobody wants to go to the doctor, because usually if it's not bad news that will lead to good news, if you get something taken care of, it is pain, or it is inconvenience, and God forbid, right? So, sat there for a little bit, explained the situation and what they were going to do with the procedure. Got the old Novocaine. Are you afraid of needles? No, I'm not afraid of needles. I've had so many needles in my mouth. Like I said, I've got a lot of dental work. It's not because I don't take care of my teeth. I don't want to make that very clear. I brush my teeth every day. I could do better on flossing, I'm sure. Most of the people who are honest can say that. Sometimes with teeth, that I found out by doing a lot of research, is genetics. Genetically speaking, in my genetic tree, teeth aren't always the greatest thing for our attributes, right? It's not always something that's going to work out for us, at least for me. So that's just the way it is. Some people can go through their entire lives, perfect teeth, no cavities and everything like that. A good portion of it is taking care of yourself. From what I'm told, again, I'm not a professional, so I'm not speaking about this. And I won't go on this topic much longer, because we got other things to talk about. But just something to think about there, right? So went through the procedure. You know, got a different type of Novocaine. It's a weird sour Novocaine, right? So I've had that probably twice, because crowns require that very specific, particular type of Novocaine. It's a really sour tasting Novocaine, and it's strong as hell, let me tell you. when that thing goes through your veins and your mouth and everything, you feel it. Like other Novocaines, like I said, I've had them so many times, it really doesn't, right? So, got through that, and then, you know, they started doing their things. I'm not going to get into too much gory detail. Question I would have had for myself if I was sitting here like you are watching me is, did it hurt? No, didn't feel a thing. You know what you do feel is a lot of pressure. So when you feel that pressure, it can be very uncomfortable. And they tell you at one point during the procedure, once it's almost time to, you know, close up and, you know, get you going, you're going to hear a lot of noises. So you got the saws going and the drill or whatever they got, and, you know, the scraper, and they have to, you know, with an impacted wisdom tooth that's under the gum, they obviously have to open up the gum. So that's why this is a lot more swollen than it should be, or, you know, would be if it was out like my other side is. My other side's not impacted, but still it has to go. Wisdom teeth are not good for you. So they just cause a lot of problems. So I was able to get through it. And yes, I did look at the tooth, and it stayed in one piece, but of course there was another piece. There's actually two pieces. So it's not one piece, but most of it was one piece. It's just this little tiny thing. For such a giant, like, procedure, at least for me, it's just such a little thing, right? And then you hear something and you feel some things, and then finally it comes out. It is very uncomfortable, but for me, I was already good. I already got the shots. Let's get this over with. I do pretty well with pain management. This type of pain is really annoying, right? So they gave me some meds to be able to take to get me through the next week or so. And one of them was ibuprofen. Pretty high dose, so I've never taken ibuprofen before. I'm not big on taking medicine. I've been very fortunate in my life that I haven't had to really do that, in the sense of taking care of myself, and obviously, you know, I don't abuse that kind of stuff either. So the ibuprofen's working pretty good. So thank you, dentist lady. Really appreciate you helping me out, and the recovery is going. But for the time being, it's going to be uncomfortable. The first few days are awful. I got it done Tuesday, so we're now on to Sunday. And yeah, it's still uncomfortable. Can't really get the jaw fully open, but things get better as they go on every day. So remember, if I give you any advice from a non-clinical standpoint, because like I said, I'm not a dentist or a medical practitioner or anything like that, just have patience. And I have a lot of patience usually, but I'm not to be honest. There's nothing fun about this. But regardless, hopefully in another few days or a week or so, we'll be fully on our way to recovery. So awesome stuff with that. In the comments down below, let me know if you've ever had any kind of dental work, really weird conversation, speaking point I'm trying to go for here. But I'm just curious on what your thoughts are, what your interactions have been in regards to that. Have you ever been put under anesthesia, or am I just a big baby, right? I'm just curious. Leave those things in the comment section down below. You know, with all my videos, I always like a great conversation. Most of the time, I would prefer it to be a positive one, but most of the time, I would really like it just to be impactful, and, you know, negative nonsense just isn't really useful for us to get through, right? So, or to put down or talk about, because that's just silly. But anyway, on the road to recovery, let me know down in the comments section below if you have any experiences with what I went through. So, second thing today, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and to all the dads out there that are filling both shoes. Happy Mother's Day as well. Even though we got our day, which is Daddy's Day, Father's Day, whatever. Really do appreciate this day. Typically, Father's Day is a tough day for me. It hasn't been for the last 3 years because I am, you know, a stepdad of 2 children. So I have a different outlook on it than if I was to worry about myself, right? And that's getting into a lot of personal stuff, but well, let's just say you kind of get the story. It's probably been around long enough, right? With a lot of folks that sometimes you have one parent, you have 2 parents, sometimes you have no parents. So just appreciate what you have and learn from your experiences. I think that's the biggest thing I could say. For me, this is a very difficult day because my mom passed away last month. And I brought this up a few times on the channel now, and I don't like to really talk about it too much, but I seem to catch myself doing it. I guess it's a good way to, you know, get your feelings out. And I'm not really a person that likes to do that much. So when I get that chance to feel like I really want to get something off my chest or say something that may be impactful for one of you folks out there watching this, or even for me, just by letting it out and saying, hey, we're all normal here. Loss sucks and there's no way around it, right? But you just never forget them. So I wanted to show a picture of me and my mom from many moons ago. I found this digging through some pictures a while ago when everything went down. And this is it right here. Hopefully I can actually get this on camera correctly. This right here is when I was a stunning lad, when I was probably about 16 or 17 years old. I can't remember. And that's my mom right there sitting on top of my shoulder there. And yeah, I used to wear the white tank tops and backwards hat, all kinds of other nonsense. Yeah, it was a good phase for me, whatever. But that picture for me represents a very interesting time in my life. I was still discovering myself. I still am. I think we continuously have to do that through life, right? So I think that you'll never stop trying to find something out in regards to being new to you or your experiences or whatever. I think that's just something that's ongoing. I would say it's common sense, but for me, I can look at that picture and go, wow, I know exactly where I was and how I was feeling. I hope I can still remember this in another like 10 or 20 years, because I guess if I can, I just go right back to the tube of a billion yous, but only one of me and you, right? So maybe this is a good thing for me. It's like my time capsule to myself and anybody who cares, right? So that picture for me, I can clearly go back in time and go, wow, this is kind of what I was going through, I think. It's a little fuzzy in some places, but it was an interesting time in my life. I was still learning a lot about myself, and I think I was still in high school at the time, and life was just very different than it is right now. I mean, in regards to the pandemic, of course, you know, that's like the elephant in the room right now. But again, happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and like I said, with everybody else that goes with, and happy Mother's Day to my mother. I'm going to go visit her today, and I'm going to let her know, give her some flowers and stuff, so good stuff. And for any of you folks that are in a similar position to me where you can't say that to your mom or your dad, you know, my heart goes out to you. It sucks, but you're just going to keep moving forward, because that's where your loved ones would always want for you, right? So let's get off of the sad talk. What else do I got going on? Do I get any pickups? I got some on the way, and I'm going to hold off on telling you about them. They're nothing spectacular. I think I'm going down a little bit of a rabbit hole with another thing to be collecting for, but I don't think it'll be the severity of the rabbit hole of the other ones that I'm in, if that makes any sense. So you've seen a few times on my videos before, typically in the thrift time and finds videos, that when I've been going to the Savers, because that place is awesome, I've been getting a lot of VHS. So certain VHSs that interest me, I'm going to get them and have them displayed somewhere in the game room once this is all done. I'm not going to go hog wild. I'm not going for like complete VHS collections. That would be insanity. I don't like complete collections of anything. I would like it, but you know, there's also a time where you have to think financially, can I do this and also do the right thing by the ones, the right things for the ones that I care for and myself, meaning pay the bills. Because we can't get ourselves in any more rabbit holes, right? So I got some of those on the way, some cool ones that I saw. I'm going to bring up the person I got it from. Pretty cool person that doesn't live too far away from me. He is a little bit outside of Boston, like a smidgen. And he runs his own retro store for vinyl and Laserdisc, VHS, retro games. I haven't been in the actual place since 2014, so I've always kept up with the channel, or should I say, I always kept up with the page, which I'll bring to you in the video once I get that stuff. But he was actually the person I got my Bucky O'Hare from, so I was super pumped about that, and I got a lot of other cool stuff from him as well. But just, it's kind of out of the way for me. And work is always crazy for me because, like I've said many times before, I'm a manager in a retail environment, the retail industry, right? So you work a lot of crazy hours. I am exempt, so that means that you're salaried. I can go against you and go for you in a lot of different ways, but again, I'm not here to talk about that. What I am here to talk about is sometimes you just don't have enough time to do everything you want to do. I know you know what I'm talking about. Right now during the pandemic, we have a pretty good amount of time to do a lot of things, right? And it's the stuff that we just don't want to do. That's kind of what I found during my time that I had to take off for a number of different reasons. But I worked through most of the pandemic. But again, we're not here to talk about that. So, what else we got going on? Let me go back. When I get that stuff, I'm going to show it to you. I'm pretty super excited for it. Got a good price for them, and dude's a good guy, so I'll definitely throw that out there if he's comfortable with it, which I'm sure he will be. So let's get to updates. And while you're here, the last update is the game room. So how are we doing? Well, we officially have the floor poured. Awesome. The toilet will go there. Got some new switches in, which is pretty cool. Piping's all done. That is going to be a fan for what I'm going to show you next, which is going to end up going here, I believe. And this is going to be where the vanity is, and the mirror. And then this. This is something I'm super pumped for. So if anything good is going to come out of the nonsense that happened to me 4 or 5 months ago, is this. So I have the space to do it, and I'm doing it. We're getting in a walk-in shower. It's let's say it's a pretty big one, right? You got some cool other lights there, you know, a couple adjustments need to be made, but I'd say it's a pretty cool one, right? Pretty comfortable. There's going to be a nice little door here, because I don't want to do just the sheet. Just me personally, I like to keep the water in there, but whatever. Let me know in the comment section down below. Do you have a walk-in shower, or do you just have a master tub per se that, you know, acts as a shower as well? So I'm pretty excited. We're going to move forward now. The next steps are going to be to do the walls, the drywall, the doors. We've still got an awful lot of things to do around here, but now that things are moving forward, pretty excited, right? So over here, and this is cool because I'll never be able to see this again unless I tear down the wall. I mean, that's pretty sick, right? Because I'm not a contractor or a plumber, or really mechanically inclined. I could figure out some stuff, but that's not really my expertise. So when I get to see things like this, and you know, I know my plumber pretty well, and he explains everything to me and how they work and how the system works, I think it's pretty cool, right? So over here, just got another new LED light in there, which we've never had down here. LED flood, I think they call it. This is where our laundry is going to be. And let me tell you something. Not being able to do laundry at home, for you folks that have to do that or choose to do that, for whether it's to save money or you don't have enough money to get it, or you're in an apartment complex or whatever it is, it's an inconvenience. I'm not gonna lie. And I don't mean it's something that I can't do. It's just finding time to do, because everything is time, right? And for the last couple of months, actually since January, wow, that's how long I've been going here. I used to use the laundry at a laundromat when I was younger with my mom, because I think ours broke, or we didn't have one, or whatever it was. I think we had one, but it broke, and then we finally got a new one for a long time, though. Maybe to save some bucks. We used to go to a laundromat down the street, so since I was a very young child till now, I didn't really have to do that. I had the luxury of having one at home, right? And we literally just caught the laundry and the washer and dryer right before all this nonsense happened and the pipes blew. And yeah, you like the new haircut thing? That's pretty cool. I haven't had a haircut in like 2 months. But anyway, I can't wait until upside down couch. Does that make sense? No. Do I care? Not really, because that thing's going to be cleaned anyway. That's for pouring the concrete to do this. I think it came out really good. I'm super pumped that this is finally moving forward. This should be done in probably like a week or two, hopefully. So I think this is going to be pretty cool. It's going to be a stand-up one. I think we're going to get the same ones that we got before. And then I'll be able to do my laundry at home, which is such a convenience. And I appreciate it more. So when we don't have things, and we don't have a lot of things during these last couple months with the obvious going on, remember to always appreciate things that you don't have, or that you did have, or that you could do, because the day may come when you can't. I can't do my laundry, and that sucks. So I appreciate it a lot more. I've always kept up pretty good on laundry, so it's not anything like that. It's something small, minuscule, but the message is more important for overall in life, right? So pretty super pumped about that. And I think that's about it. So pretty long-winded video. A lot of things to discuss, so super excited for that. And that's where we're going to end it. No, it's not. So this right here, I believe we have to have some concrete poured in, because as you can see, I don't know if you remember, no, I didn't do videos back then, but I've done a lot of different changes in the game room. So I think when you used to see my videos, if I remember correctly, the TVs used to be there, and then the retro, yeah, so TVs, retro, and then the arcade one-ups, and the collection, right? So that all used to be here. At one point in time when I was younger, this used to be where I would put my setup for my TV. So I had a pretty big, you can imagine like up to here, pretty big TV stand and like entertainment center or whatever. And then when it would do it, it would do like one of these. So it kind of be slanted, right? So that's just the way the cement was. So what better time to fix it than now? Because when this is all said and done, other than the walls being painted and obviously the border boards right there and that awful wallpaper going bye-bye, this is all going to be floored. So I'm not doing carpet because I don't really like carpet. I'm not a fan of it. It gets pretty moistury down here. That's not even a word, but I can make up words because this is my video, right? So we're going to do some type of flooring, and I can't wait. And maybe do like an area rug or something. I don't know. There's a lot of different things to figure out. That stuff can wait, because then obviously I got to get my shelves back up. I don't have those because, obviously with the plumbing going down, they were affected, and I'm not going to keep something that was contaminated by raw sewage or sewage, and we've already gone down that road and what came out of those pipes, so I couldn't keep that, and I wouldn't anyway for the health of myself and obviously my family in the house, right? So I'm gonna have to get new shelves, and that's gonna cost a couple of bucks, but I'm gonna get good ones. I was almost thinking of maybe if I was a little bit better at this, creating my own shelves, right? I don't mean like building shelves from like a different retailer or stuff like that, because I've seen those. I mean actually build them from scratch and chop them up, wood, measurements, everything like that. I think it's something I could do. I do know how to read a tape measure. I do have the tools to do it. But again, with somebody like me and all the stuff that's going on, and I'm no different, better or worse than any of you out there, you all know what I'm talking about. Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. That time just doesn't stop for you. It never does. But when every once in a while it does stop for you, really just appreciate it. So I don't know what I'm going to do there. Let me know down below in the comments, as always. Great conversations. That's what I'm looking for here. Would that be something cool that I should do? Oh, what's that? Yep. That's Rip. Definitely. I don't know how that happened, but I'm going to guess it's probably something to do with this, but that wall had to go anyway, so kiss it. Anyway, what do you folks think about everything that I just talked about? Because that was a whole lot of stuff, a whole lot of topics, conversations to talk about. Let me know. What are your thoughts on everything I just said? Because I said a lot. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'm not begging you. I'm not pleading with you. It makes me feel good that each subscriber I get, because there's more of a chance that I can reach a bigger audience on a more consistent basis. Going through something, whether it be positive, negative, or just bored or whatever, and they hear something come out of my mouth on one of my videos, or they see something like, wow, that's really cool. Maybe I should get into retro this, or maybe, look at that man, he's got a ton of movies. Man, I would love to get into movie collecting. I want to jump in the rabbit hole with this man. He's got a few rabbit holes. Let's give him a rabbit hole to jump into as well. That's the stuff that means more to me. I'm not monetized. I made that very clear from the start. That's not my goal. Would I like to be at some point? Sure. I mean, who's going to turn away making money doing something that you find interesting, right? It'd be cool to do, but if it doesn't happen for me, at the end of the day, it doesn't bother me. Because when I get to have a good conversation with somebody I don't know, and it reaches them in a positive way or makes their day better or whatever that is, that means more to me than anything. More to me than money or anything else. It's my way of giving back. It's my way of saying things. It's my way of paying for it, I guess. So, with all that being said, thank you to the 51, that's right, 51 subscribers who have joined the channel of the house and fun of video games. Also, another note, just hit another milestone other than the fact that 51 wonderful people out there have subscribed to my nonsense. One of my videos just hit over 1,000 views. I'm like blown away by that, and I know that YouTube is a very large community, and I know there's some people that have been doing YouTube so long, or there's people that have gone viral, and 1,000 views for them isn't a big deal. But at one point it probably was. And maybe at one point it won't be a big deal to me, but it will always be a big deal to me. Because that means that 1,000 people decided, I'm going to check out this person's video, and they got something out of it, which is cool, right? My arcade 1-up review of the Galaga machine just hit over 1,000 views, which is pretty awesome. I shot that so long ago, it feels like, and that is the most popular video on my catalog of videos. And I think it has a lot to do with, obviously, the algorithm. Things that people search. Arcade 1-up is a very popular thing for right now. Anything retro gaming is, anything with, you know, some current gen games like Fortnite, I'm sure is, or Call of Duty is. Those things get searched like crazy. And I get that probably has a lot to do with it. But for me, I'm just super pumped that 1,000+ people during the duration the video has been out there have checked it out, and they've given me a thumbs up, or they kind of gave me some advice in regards to things that I said during the video, which is pretty cool. But it was all positive and beneficial conversations, which is what I'm looking for. So, with all that being said, thank you to all the folks who helped me hit that milestone. It means a lot to me. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure, if you do subscribe, hit that notification bell, because sometimes you don't really get all the notifications on YouTube. I get pretty lucky, and most of the channels I'm subscribed to a good amount of channels, which is why I ended up starting this, right? Gave me the ideas to try this and see how this would work and see how good I could be. And not good like great content, but good in my own way, like reaching out to folks and making them, you know, obviously feel better. And now I'm kind of going on and on and on about that. But with notification bell turned on, if you do enjoy my content, I would say a good portion of the time you will see that video come through and it'll say just uploaded. If you do not hit the bell, you'll just have to keep an eye on the channel. that is up to you to do. It's a preference. I hit bells on most of the channels that I watch. There's some that I just don't, for whatever reason, because I just didn't think of it or just don't care or whatever. But anyway, at any rate, that is the update I have for you. Sorry for the long conversation, but I love long conversations. I love positive conversations, and I love having fun with all you folks watching here today and every day. This is Jason from Jason's House of Fun and Video Games. I hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful Mother's Day to all the folks that applies to, wonderful weekend. Let's go on with Monday. And before I leave, one final thing, because I forgot. There's always one more. Thrift time and fines maybe kind of come back sooner than later. I live in the state of Massachusetts, and we are going to be slowly reopening. And the date, I believe, is May 18th. So with that, I don't know what that means, but I am eager to get back into the thrift and find some cool things, because it's something I really enjoy doing. And yeah, that's it. So subscribe, comment, hit that bell. This is Jason from Jason's House of Fun and Video Games. For the second time of wrapping up this video. You have yourself a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.